Why hello there and happy holidays. My name's Khensani and today I'm with Tagged because I want to tell you about my 5 top Christmas romantic comedies that are on Showmax right now that you should definitely be watching over the festive season. You might think that the romantic comedy genre is absolutely dead, but luckily the spirit of Christmas is keeping it alive. And right now there's an excellent choice of movies on Showmax for you to enjoy this festive while you're arguing with your siblings about dishes and stuffing your face full of jelly and custard. What separates the Christmas romantic comedy from your regular romantic comedy is not only the insistence on a bunch of common tropes, but it's the fun fact that you can have the most whimsical and most ludicrous of ideas and happenings happen all because of the magic of Christmas. I'm talking about an entire town that's GDP depends on Christmas. I'm talking about people who can only get engaged at Christmas. I'm talking about coronations that only happen at Christmas. I'm talking about all important demolitions of businesses and houses happening on Christmas. I am talking about the fact that we need to save our family home because we need somewhere to be for Christmas. So without further ado, here are my top 5 picks. At number 1, we have Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater. Not only do I really like this movie because the title sounds like a threat, but it's also about the unifying power of fashion. Basically, we have our lovely main character who, and this is also Christmas movie shorthand for them being a really nice, kind person, is a school teacher who volunteers with orphans. She spends her festive season bringing a holiday spirit to little boys and girls who don't have families and don't get enough presents. She ends up sort of assaulting a man in a really ugly Christmas sweater, and he's not from town, so that means that he has to kind of stay with her for a couple of days, I guess, because that's totally logical to let some random stranger in an ugly jersey live with you. And they end up slowly falling in love as they bond over charity work and the magic of Christmas, and it's a really cute, endearing, simple story. At number 2, we have Christmas Romance Al Dente. Now, this is a very heartwarming story which follows one of your very common Christmas rom-com movie tropes of having to save the family business or the family home during the time of Christmas. Our main character's sister is trying to, for some reason, open a restaurant on Christmas Eve, but it seems like nobody's going to come or they don't have enough resources. So our main character hauls back home to go help her sister and save her business just in time for Christmas spirit, and she ends up connecting with the chef of this restaurant, who of course is a no-nonsense, very serious, maybe Italian chef who's very serious about his pasta and has no time for none of this Christmas nonsense, but eventually he's obviously wooed by our Christmas protagonist and her love and her spirit and her joie de vivre. Our third movie follows my favorite trope of the protagonist's boyfriend secretly being some sort of royal. This time we're following an ad executive who's really having a difficult time connecting with her inner spirit and the sense of love and passion, especially in the festive season, which she really needs to land a big account and make waves at her work. But fortunately for her, she meets a mysterious consultant from a foreign land who seems to bring so much joy and spontaneity to her life, only to find out later that he's actually secretly a prince of some European country. And apparently, for some reason in these movies, everyone is always upset about finding out their boyfriend is a prince. But for me, that sounds absolutely fantastic. And of course, it does all eventually work out, which is exactly what you want in a Christmas movie. Another one of my favorite Christmas rom-com tropes is also the super busy executive corporate person who's too much business, all work, no play, who has to return home and then reconnect with the idea of family and love. And we see that in Christmas Creek, or Return to Christmas Creek. And my fourth pick also follows my other favorite Christmas trope, where basically if you want to save your job, you need to love Christmas again. This time our protagonist actually comes from an all-Christmas town. It's actually called Christmas Creek, and she needs to go back home and reconnect with the spirit of Christmas and her family and maybe find an old lover in order to land a campaign again at work. And while this premise is ridiculous because shouldn't she be on leave, it is a really fun movie, and there's always a good amount of hijinks around an entire town that seems to only get its revenue from Christmas and Christmas themed stuff. And you can also have a good time wondering about what they do for the other 364 days of the year. My final choice isn't necessarily a Christmas rom-com, but it did make me cry a lot, and that's also the kind of thing you want from a good Christmas movie, no? My last pick isn't technically a rom-com, but since it's still about love and the magic of Christmas, I think it definitely counts. In this story, we follow a young girl who's about to enter a Christmas-themed pageant, so we're back on the Christmas board, and she has to achieve this win by learning to love herself and believe in herself once again. This is a great movie to watch if you really want to cry, and if you want something that's really simple and easy for everyone in the family to watch. So those have been my top 5 Christmas rom-coms to watch on Showmax right now. But fortunately enough, there is a huge library of Christmas romantic comedies to enjoy this festive season. So dig into some pie, eat some more cake, get seconds and thirds, and enjoy this festive season.